Principled innovation is one of the design elements of ASU, and it consists of 4 pillars. So it's moral, civic, intellectual, and performance, which seems kind of confusing. But basically all it is a structure that we can use to try and figure out why we do what we do and whether or not we're taking into consideration all possible perspectives.
It's our way of helping students make thoughtful, values-guided choices about their lives. It teaches them to lead with character, to understand their impact, and to design futures grounded in who they are and what they care about.
Think of an edge of growth in your life design blueprint, an area of uncertainty, a question you're living, or a risk you're considering.
Before students settle on majors or careers, we ask them to explore their values. Meaning must come first. When students understand what truly matters to them, they can design purposeful futures.
It is interesting to get out of both perspectives, and then you kind of curate your own decision.
What we're seeing is that as students learn to apply principled innovation, they gain real confidence and clarity in how they navigate academic decisions, future career paths, their roles in the community, leadership opportunities, and their own personal development.
PI has changed the way I made decisions by helping me with giving me tools to really understand how my actions will impact my future.
We ask students to innovate with character, to let their values shape how they think, create, collaborate, and solve problems.
To me, innovating with character means telling my story. So how I have immigrant parents and just incorporating different things into my ideas when I'm innovating.
To innovate with character means to lead through any sort of decision making with your values in mind.
Innovating with character means to think more about the people you're affecting and not just the problem you're solving.
I don't think that principled innovation is just to create things in like a material sense, but rather to just go through a process of design that involves, just people as well as material things. And I didn't think like I was gonna be like at the center of these first 4 months. So that was a really cool experience.
I'd say that for principled innovation to have the biggest impact, the students need to experience it everywhere. We highlight it in stories we share and conversations. So for example, our Barrett Community Dialogue series lets students engage with speakers who bring fresh perspectives to some really complex issues. It also shows up in our social media, in our events. The Life Stories lecture is a really excellent example of how principled innovation can be integrated into an experience that students truly enjoyed.
My inspiration behind creating the Life Stories lecture was that I wanted to find a way to blend together the moral and the civic pillars of principled innovation. And what that really means is, who is your community? What do they do? Why are they important to you? How do they support you when you have to make difficult decisions? And so I wanted to help identify those people. But the students rarely get to pick who the speakers are, so my idea was this would allow the students some agency to decide who were the speakers they wanted to hear the most.
When I found out that I'd been selected for this, I was just chuffed to bits. I was so pleased. And it's an honor to have the students choose me as one of 3 people they want to hear from and they want to hear my life story.
I think what makes this event specifically special is that we got to pick the professors that were speaking. So I got to vote to see my professor sharing his life story, and I'm really excited to hear it.
If students could take with them something from my presentation for today, I'd hope that they don't forget where they come from, they don't forget their roots, and they use that as a starting point to their journey into fulfilling their desires, ambitions, and dreams.
When I first began the course, I thought it would take us 2 or 3 weeks to start to build a culture where we felt safe sharing our values, sharing our background, sharing our biggest aspirations. But that part happened pretty quickly. And then once we got past the point of trying to impress one another, trying to come up with the right answers for things and being comfortable with ambiguity, the real growth started to happen.
So I originally wanted to go into Wall Street after my graduate degree in finance, but I now decided that I can also pursue some nonprofit work with it.
I figured out that I was really lagging compared to the person that I wanted to be. And that did not make me as annoyed as I thought it was going to be. It was a moment that, I figured out that that was okay.
Something in my life that I've rethought because of this class is that I don't have to have everything figured out in my future careers. I can just kind of take my time to just be present in every moment without constantly feeling like I need to be in the next step.
It's changed the way I think about my career and future because, again, it helps put things into perspective on things I need to work on now, like some things that I tend to put off.
I'd love to share about PI that it's just a wonderful program. I think that everybody should get a chance to be in the program because it teaches you a lot about not just education or professional pursuits, but also just about life.
The most rewarding part of teaching Designing a Meaningful Life has been watching students grow over time. One of my favorite parts of being an educator is that over time, with a little bit of effort and attention, we see radical and massive changes in students' perception, self-confidence, ability to express themselves. They don't see it happening in the same way that I do, but that's really the most rewarding part of teaching.
I'm deeply grateful for the philanthropic support that has already helped us bring principled innovation to life in such meaningful ways, including the creation of new events and courses, opportunities like the Principled Innovation Scholars. Our students deserve the very best we can offer them, and this support lets us create experiences that really shape how they think about themselves, their purposes, and their futures.
To a donor who helped fund this program, I'd say that you are helping college students figure out their future. I think this program has done a really good job, for me at least, helping me channel my passions into some steps that I can take to figure out what I want to do for a career, what I want to do in life.
I would say the biggest thank you because this course has truly transformed my life and I know the lives of all of my classmates, and I think that is really powerful to be able to have a class where we're allowed to think in these innovative ways using principled innovation.
There are so many ways we can continue strengthening this work and extending it across the Barrett community. Our students show us what's possible, and we want to keep creating experiences that help them grow with purpose and clarity and confidence. That's the vision we're working toward every day.